Hi guys. You would think that having tornado watches, which I don't know the difference between a tornado watch and a tornado warning is, but you would think that with really bad thunderstorms and lightning and all of this insane stuff that's going on right now, that it would be colder. But it's not. I think it's because it's humid. But I do have a sweater on because David's home and he has the air conditioner on and I don't like it because I'm cold. But anyways, so how are you guys doing today? What is this week? This week is welcome to week 20. This is my second dose back on since I've been cleared to return to my Mounjaro injections. And last week, my official weigh-in was 321.2. This week, I ended up putting it in my thigh, my right thigh. I came up with a new way. I have a full-length mirror in my hallway, like as you're walking in from the front door. And so I stood in front of my full-length mirror. And it's really hard to inject in your thigh on your own when you have an apron, like an extreme apron belly, like I do. So I can't lift my belly, wipe my area, squeeze, and I can't. I don't have three hands. So what I did was I looked at the front of my thigh for any area that did not have like a vein that I can see, because I can see veins in my thighs. So I looked for anything that wasn't green. I looked for anything that didn't have any like scars or anything, which I don't really have scars on my thigh, but ow. And then I cleaned it with the alcohol wipe while looking in the mirror because I can't see. And then I let it dry for a little while, and I just used one hand to inject it, and there. So this time it did sting a lot, but that was my 100% my fault. I did not give the alcohol time to completely dry. I thought I did, but the as soon as I put the pin down, I could feel how cold it was, and I was like, "Uh-oh." And it was too late because I had already pressed it. And I was like, "Oh crap." So that did bringing the alcohol in burned. But there was no other effects like the last two times that I've done my thigh. There was no welting, there was no bleeding, there was no bruising, there was nothing. So when I do my thighs, I will continue to do it that way. And if you are having trouble doing your thigh as well, I suggest you try it that way. I don't know how easy it would be with an insulin pin or an insulin syringe with the insulin with a syringe. I don't know how easily that would be, but if you have the self-injector pin, that worked really well for me. So this week, Mounjaro is doing its thing. When Wednesday came around, Tuesday and Wednesday came around, I was not very hungry still. I do notice that although I tend to be more hungry on Tuesday and Wednesday leading up to my injection, I tend to be more hungry, but this week I wasn't. What I can do though is I can eat more food. I could definitely eat more food. But as far as cravings, I would say yesterday was Sunday. I was craving cheesecake. I don't know what it is with cheesecake. I'm not even that big of a fan, but I have been craving cheesecake during these last few times that I've been craving something. And I don't know why that is. It's not like I'm craving stuff all the time, but during those 3 weeks when I was off and then the craving started and all of that, it was for cheesecake. Back in the day when, I would have normal cravings, it was rarely ever for cheesecake. So I don't know why that is. But I will say this. The bleeding and the clotting has increased this week. So it has really drained me. Like I'm really just super tired, super drained, like all the time. And that's affecting me. But outside of that, I had no side effects that were noteworthy to put on here because No nausea, no headaches, no nothing outside of the extremely tired, but I can contribute that to the excess bleeding and clotting that I'm doing. So that's what we're gonna go with. Um, this week I officially weighed in at 317.8 pounds, which is a 3.4 pound loss from last week. That's good. I'm happy with that. It was really weird because even though um even though my normal, like, even though it's normal for me to go up and down, up and down, up and down, a little bit, little bit, little bit. I don't know if you could see this here, but I weighed in at 319.7, and then the next morning 320 even, and then 319.7 the next day, and then the next day 319.7. I have never had the same exact weight every single day, ever. And I've had it 3 days, not in a row though. I had it 2 days in a row, and then it went up, and then it went back down to the same weight. So for 3 days, the weight measured in at the exact same weight. That's really, that I've never seen that for myself before. And I'm like, oh, okay. Like, even, like, it's not like it was, off by a couple ounces here, there, whatever. No, even. That was weird. But today I had an appointment with the nutritionist, dietitian. I had an appointment with the dietitian. So it was my first appointment. So we just went over medical stuff. And I'll have another appointment next week, and we'll go from there. And hopefully, we can get my brain on the right track and stop playing around. Tomorrow I have the oncology appointment, and that's a little nerve-wracking. And then today I seen this. Do you see this? Do you see just how, like, incredibly thick my part is? Like, the amount of hair that I'm losing is just so heartbreaking to me. I've never in my life seen any of my parts be this like deep before. Look at that. Oh, goodness gracious. Never. Look at that. Never. Oh, I've never seen that in my own hair before, and I'm so nervous about it. But I'm also hopeful that once the bleeding is under control and my anemia is under control, then my hair could recover. I'm hopeful. I refuse to believe that I am going to lose all my hair. I refuse to believe that I've lived for 30. I've lived for 40 plus years with a gigantic head of hair, and all of a sudden it's not going to be that way anymore. I refuse to believe that. I refuse. And I do not care if people call me vain for that. Of course, I don't want people to think that I'm only trying to do things for looks, because I could care less, However, I want my hair. And for anybody who's new here, yes, my weight loss goals are intentional. This journey is intentional. The GLP-1 injections for said weight loss is not intentional. That is not something that I sought out. That is not something that I, was researching or looking into or requesting or anything like that. That is just something that happened because suddenly I became type 2 diabetic. Suddenly, out of nowhere, on the exact same day, I get a insulin-resistant PCOS with fibroids, many fibroids diagnosis. I left my OBGYN's office crying, drove to my PCP's office, and then walked in and got a type 2 diabetic diagnosis. So both of those things on the exact same day. And all I did was pretty much cry. Yeah. And then I started Depo-Provera for the attempts at controlling my periods, and I started Mounjaro on the exact same day. Both of them were on June 19th of this year. And, all of that to say that none of this is for vanity. None of it. This is for me to live a long life. Or a longer life than I would if I remained at my size. And with my health conditions that are all brand new to me and I'm still learning about. I'm constantly being bombarded with weird questions about, like, how could you do this? You're supposed to be body positive. You're supposed to be, embracing your body at any size and blah, 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 blah. Who says? Who says that I have to do that at any size? I am not healthy at this size. Period. I know of not one single soul on this planet who can be 300 plus pounds, 400 plus pounds, which I have been, and remain healthy for their life. I know of not one. If you know of one, please share them, because I would love to know what they're doing. I want to talk to them. I want to see how they've managed to do that. But I don't want one that's in their 20s, because your health concerns don't happen when you're in your 20s. But when you're in your 30s, they begin. When you're in your 40s, they slap you in the face. That's where I'm at. So for anybody who thinks that I'm doing a disservice to other overweight people by being on a weight loss journey, I'm sorry you feel that way. Your feelings are valid, but they're not fact. And you don't have the right to tell me that I need to stop doing what I'm doing to become a healthier person because I want to live to see 45. I'm 43 and I want to live to see 45. And you don't have the right to tell me that I don't get to have that right because I should stay fat and, I should just embrace who I am. I do embrace who I am, but I don't embrace my body at this size. I don't embrace the health concerns that I have. And I don't embrace dying early because of things that I can actively work on to control and I can make better. Can I do it by myself? I tried. For 18 months to do it by myself. And I was relatively successful for a year. And I lost 115 pounds by myself in 1 year. Then for 6 months, or like 5.5 months, I battled 5 extra pounds. 5 extra pounds. I did everything I was told to do. Cut out all of the simple carbohydrates, all of the table sugars, whatever I was told to do. The tortillas, the bread. If I was told to do it, I did it. Why did it stop working? It stopped working because I have severe insulin resistance in more than one way, because I have insulin resistant PCOS, plus I have insulin resistance because of type 2 diabetes. I have an inflammatory autoimmune disease that has no name. We just know that my inflammation markers are incredibly high for absolutely no reason. They cannot pin it to anything. There's no known reason for it to be high. So because it is high, that means that there's something severely wrong with my inflammation response. And as of right now, it has no name. So for those of you who have a problem with what I'm doing, I'm sorry you have a problem with it, but this is my body. This is my life. This is my future. And I get to make those decisions and you don't. You get to make those decisions for you. And if you think that staying where you are with all the health conditions that I have is beneficial for you, do it. But they're not beneficial for me. And I'm not here to say, like, I don't care what you do, because I do care what you do. I do care what you do because I want you to live as long of a life as you can, and I want you to live it healthily. Healthily, is healthily a word? I don't know. But if it is, that's what I want you to do. And you're never going to do that being 400 plus pounds like I've been, alongside having type 2 diabetes, having hypothyroidism, having a vitamin D deficiency, having your hemoglobin hit 6.1. You're never going to be able to do that with those issues. And I'm not saying you have those issues. I'm saying I have those issues. And I'm saying if you were me, you would be dealing with what I'm dealing with. You would be 43 years old and have these issues. And you would likely not live to see 45. Because these things can kill you. Being a type 2 diabetic and not taking care of it can kill you. Having hypothyroidism and not taking care of it can kill you. I do not want to die any earlier than I need to. Not for just like selfish reasons for myself, no. I want to live as long as I possibly can alongside my family. And I want to enjoy their company, and I want them to be able to enjoy mine. And if I'm dead, they can't do that. And the sad reality is that I did all the work to push myself into an early grave. Now, I am doing the work so that I can live longer. So that I can love those around me. So I could be there for them. So I could watch my brother grow up. So I could watch him get his master's degree. And I could watch him get his doctoral degree. And I could watch him become a doctor. And I could watch him make a big impact in this world. That's what I want to do. That's what I'm doing this for. I'm doing this so that I can watch that happen. And I can experience that with him and celebrate with him. And laugh and cry with him. And hug him through it. And proudly be at his graduation screaming and hollering for him. He did it. That's what I'm doing this for. And if you can't understand that, I'm sorry. But my reasons don't need to be yours. And your reasons don't need to be mine. We all have our own reasons for doing things. And I'm tired of being afraid to continue on. And I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. I'm gonna keep doing what I need to do. And I hope you do too. I really do. So let's see. I should have thought about this before, but I didn't. 46 pounds plus. I am now 166 pounds down. Well, 166.2 pounds down on this journey that has taken me 2 years on this chapter of my journey, because this isn't the first time. You know, just tired. I'm tired of medications. In a support group that I'm in, somebody had asked the question, what do you plan to do for maintenance? Do you plan on being on a GLP-1 for the rest of your life? And somebody else chimed in and said, why wouldn't I be on it for the rest of my life? They are on the chronic obesity management side of GLP-1s. They are not on the type 2 diabetic side. So her response was, why wouldn't I be? You wouldn't ask somebody who's diabetic if they're going to take insulin for the rest of their life. You wouldn't ask somebody with high blood pressure if they're going to take it for the rest of their life. Somebody with high cholesterol if they're going to take their cholesterol medication for the rest of their life. Why would you ask somebody with chronic obesity if they're going to take a GLP-1 for the rest of their life? And my response was, yeah, I actually would. Once you can control the diabetes, type 2 diabetes, once you can control your type 2 diabetes, you will likely not need insulin anymore. I know many people who have reversed their type 2 diabetes and no longer needed insulin, no longer needed their metformin, no longer needed those things that, they need when they're in, when they have these things and they're dealing with these things. I know many people whose blood pressure has gotten to a stable place and they are reduced so far off that they eventually no longer need their medication. Why would this be no different? I don't know. And I'm not saying that it's going to be different or that it's not different, because I have no idea. I have no idea. I know some of us will need to be on this forever. And some of us will not. Some of us will do just fine coming off and staying off because we learned better habits. We learned healthier habits. I know that there's this, I don't know, there's this whole thing going on where people are like, oh, I did it naturally. I did too. I was 120 pounds naturally on my own. On my own. I couldn't do it anymore. I had nothing left to lose on my own. Mentally, physically, emotionally, I don't know what was causing me to not be able to continue on. That didn't change anything. I got more strict. I got stricter and stricter and stricter, and I still wasn't losing. Then I started Mounjaro. And guess what? I got to ease up off of being stricter and stricter and stricter, and I'm losing again. I believe that there are some of us who are so insulin resistant that we can't complete our journey on our own. Do I know whether or not we will have to do this forever? I don't know. But for anybody to sit there and be like, you wouldn't ask them if they would this, or you wouldn't ask them if they would that. I wouldn't ask anybody anything because it's none of my business unless they were like my mom or my brothers. I would ask, what is the long-term goal here with these things? Like, are you going to have to stay on this forever? I don't want to be on thyroid medication for the rest of my life. I want to be able to correct my thyroid condition so that I can get off of the medication. I don't want to be on it forever. I know this isn't a prescription, but I am required to take the iron because I'm losing so much iron. My body can't continue to make it fast enough that I could die if I don't. I could suffer permanent nerve damage in my organs because of my iron deficiency. And if I don't fix it, then I will need to take something like this for the rest of my life. Do I want that? No, I want to fix it. I want to fix the problem so that I don't have to continue to do these things for the rest of my life. I don't know if I will have to. I don't know. I guess we'll find out once we get the uterus removed. Once we get the uterus removed, I have a lot of questions I'm going to ask tomorrow. One of those is going to be, if we remove my uterus, when we remove my uterus, is that going to cause me to need iron pills for the rest of my life? Because I don't know. And I don't know where I'm going with all of this, you guys, but I just want to give you your digital hugs. Because I needed those hugs today. I did. I do. We got rained out. We're having severe rain, thunderstorms, lightning. Also, David was supposed to go out of town today, but they're having those issues there too. So his job got canceled, so he's home. So you might hear him in the bathroom. My office on the other side of this wall is the guest bathroom. On the other side of my this hall or wall is the hallway, and then it's the guest bedroom. I have a detached home, so my master bedroom is way on the other side of my house, so they're not connected to the other rooms. I think it's called a detached home. But anyways, I hope you guys are having a great week. I really do. And for those of you who responded by email for the bracelet, I am getting them out today. As soon as I'm done, because I had the dietitian appointment, and then I had an hour in between, so I decided to film. And then I have my therapy appointment, and then David and I are gonna go to the post office and mail out the bracelets. So if you, I'm waiting on one person who told me in the comments they wanted one, but they have not emailed me yet. So please, please do so that I can get it out to you, because I'm super excited to share a friendship bracelet with you guys. And I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you soon. Bye.